Hello everyone, thanks for coming back to the channel. Today's video is entitled, Should You Approach Companies Who Visit Your Website? Keep watching and I'll give you my thoughts after the break. Hi everyone, today's topic, should you approach companies who visit your website? If you haven't subscribed already, now let me be very clear. The companies I'm talking about are companies who have visited your website but they've left without making any contact with you. So they haven't filled out, they haven't landed on a sales page and filled out their details. They haven't sent you an email or a message via your contact report. They haven't taken your telephone number from the website and then called you. Made no effort to actually contact you following their visit of the website. The question is, should you then use software? I'm going to talk about to a certain extent, and companies that do this. Should you then use software to track them or stalk them online, if you like, and make contact with them even though they choose to make contact with you? There are companies in the marketplace, one of them, and this is not a sponsored post, I'm just using some companies to demonstrate what I'm talking about. There's a company here called Lean Forensics, and there's another company, one of their competitors, I think more competitively priced, called A1 Web Stats. Now, full disclosure, I've read some reviews for both these companies and they are quite mixed. Let's talk this through. Let's imagine that you have your Google Analytics report. So you'll have a company website, you'd have a Google Analytics report. It may look something like this. This is not my company website. This is just an image I'm using for demonstration purposes. So you've got users, new users, and sessions, number of sessions per user. This is during a daily period, and page views. All good data, all good intel. But if you want to go deeper than this and find out who these users were, which companies they work for, or where they're located, and there are companies like those two I've mentioned who will give you tracking software so that people who visit your website can then be tracked within, and there's a certain degree of accuracy. So they may be able to track someone at a company level so that you might know somebody from this company with this sort of email address and this URL visited your website. So they might not always be able to provide specific name. So they can give you a person in the marketing department from this company visited your website, which may be useful. I'm going to talk about what my thoughts are on that. And both these companies, here's one. So I want to know which companies visited my website. So that's in their marketing communications. In Lead Forensics, the same sort of communication. So spot clusters who visit from the same company. This may help you with lead generation. Right? This is all the spiel, the marketing communications from these two companies, and they're in the same industry in terms of they want you to be able to find out more about your users and your visitors. Now I want to talk about my perspective. When people visit your website and decide not to contact you, I think there may be a number of reasons for that. They may not be ready. They may be just in the information gathering stage. They may have seen something on your website that they want to discuss with a colleague, or they may see something on your website that they think, well, I don't know, they may question that, or they might be wanting additional information from independent parties. So there may be a number of reasons why they didn't fill out a contact form, and legitimate reasons that are still positive in terms of moving from a lead, a prospect, all the way through to becoming a client, which is ultimately what you want, and for them to contact you. So there may be a number of reasons why they haven't done that yet. I don't think, and this is my personal opinion, I don't think it's a good idea to then say, hey, send them an email along these lines. We know that somebody from your company visited our website. We'd like to offer our services, because it's a bit as if it seems as if you've been stalking them, tracking them using some software, and that's exactly what you are doing. and perhaps they weren't ready for a number of reasons internally, but they were going to come back. I think if you make this proactive approach at the wrong time, you could jeopardize the development of a relationship, a rapport, for them to contact you, etc. If they know they're being tracked when they're on your website and you're saying, oh yes, we know you visited our new product sales page, let's have a call and we can discuss our new product, etc. It may be tips them over in the wrong direction, so they then decide to look at your competitor. On your Google Analytics, using Google Analytics as an example again, you can set up goals. So if somebody, if you want to set a goal of somebody visiting a particular sales page, or maybe they visit your, not all businesses have pricing pages, but if you had pricing pages, that could be a goal you could set up on Google Analytics. So there is a way of qualifying leads or visitors. To that extent, you can do that just using Google Analytics. But I don't think, my recommendation is that you don't use these companies that virtually chase people who visit your website and then you're trying to convince them to do business with you. For some reason, they didn't contact you the first time, or maybe the second time they visited your website. They may still be in the information gathering stage, as I mentioned. They may be comparing what they found on your website with one of your competitors, and they may be weighing up a decision-making process, internal decision-making process, and then referring, maybe discussing with their colleagues. So it could all still be positive. So from my perspective, I don't think you then should start using software that allows you to chase these people up when they haven't made a decision, or they haven't yet made a decision in your favor. I think that's potentially a mistake. I've looked at reviews for the companies that I've mentioned, and as I said, they are quite mixed. I think this kind of direct approach after somebody's visited your websites may work in some markets. I think if you're B2B and you're professional services, as most of my clients are, then don't think this is necessarily the right way to go about things. You can build up relationships, obviously, through your content, through communication in Zoom calls, Zoom being very hot at the moment, of course, rather than sending unsolicited emails to companies that have visited your website but not really expressed an interest. I think that's a mistake. What do you think? Have you had experience of the companies I've mentioned, or similar companies in the sector? How have you found it? I believe that people, prospects and leads I'm talking about, take a number of, will have a number of contacts with your business, your brand, before they make a decision, particularly if it's leading to retainers and leading to quite a lot of a reasonably significant expenditure on an annual basis, because you're going to establish retainers. If they're going through that process, they need to do their due diligence. They probably will visit your website a number of times, and when they're happy with all the research they've done and the conclusions of that research, then they might decide, yeah, we're going to contact company X, because they seem to be better, they have the best case studies, or the case studies with people that we've worked with ourselves, so we can cross-reference and speak to people we know within our network. So there's a whole range of different variables within the decision-making process, and you do not want to, I'm going to say, upset the apple cart by just, when they're starting that research and they're starting that process, you jump in and say, oh, you visited our website, so we would sell you X, Y, and Z. It may not be the right, in my opinion, it's not the right approach. You shouldn't be doing that. So that's my view on the question, should you approach companies that have visited your website? What's your view? I'd be interested to hear what you think and the experiences you've had. Please let me know in the comments below. If you've liked this discussion, please give me a like. Click on one of the 2 screenshots to watch another video from me. And if you've not subscribed already, thanks for watching. I look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye bye.